Hello, good morning, people. Now our topic would be about retiree life. I've been dancing, I've been sharing wisdom, and I think it's about time to know the real Brenda, the retiree from Germany to Philippines. It's been more than a decade I transferred here in Laguna, Cabuyao. I never regretted it because here in Cabuyao there's a lot of hot spring. It means to say there's no chlorine, water is flowing, hot spring, cold spring. Within 30 minutes in Mahayhay would be like around 1.5 hour Calabarzon area. So it caught me in surprise. It started the life with Lisa, the stray dog that surrounds the Chera El Sol where I live. And then I suddenly see a puppy of three roaming around. It was raining. And I feed the stray dogs, and that's how my adventure and destiny started. Until I pick up so many dogs. I was interviewed by one newspaper, and it was viral. But I'm not the type of person that would be asking, give me money, give me rice, or things like that. Because for whatever responsibility that I have to be on my own. I only ask help like household chores and things like that. So, you see how noisy they are? My husband and me lives in a three-story house. It was a big house because we don't have amenities here in this village. It was good village, but we have only clubhouse where you could swim there. But there, unlike other high-end villages, they have all the grilling area and things like that. Retiree in the Philippines means there are positive things, there are negative things. And in my situation, it would be so hard for me to I have no relative here in this area because I live in Manila, the city. So the thing is, you are very much dependent for household help. And sometimes because I live in Germany for so many years, I don't go for perfectionism because the Filipino in me with the improvisation, you know. Filipinos likes when it cannot be done in this way, we could go for option two. But it affects the quality, like the plumbing thing, it doesn't fit each other. But you have to embrace the life that is being offered to you because I've chosen Philippines. So the workers would be not as experienced as you can see, but they are experienced in actual training. So the construction worker, because I was the one, the foreman. Imagine I was like not working in Germany and I ended up here. So what are the consequences? What are the good things about living as a retiree in the Philippines is everybody have a good smile, everybody is friendly. If you're senior, you get money from the government. I think the government is really uh, giving a high respect for old people. They have pre-Medicare, field health, and regardless if you are foreigner, as long as you are natural born citizen here in the Philippines, yeah. But the thing is, my advice would be for all the retiree, you should really consider a place where good hospitals are nearby. That's why I have not chosen Cebu. I have chosen Cebu because I know that there are a lot of foreigners living there so that my husband would have association. But I have changed my mind because there would be no modern hospitals that would qualify for the security of me and my husband. And my husband is 84 years old and I am 64 years old. So we have all my families are abroad. So basically, I'm alone with my many dogs that surrounds me. That makes me happy and busy. We have no business here. We're just expecting our retiree money that comes every month. So this is it. It's simple life. I think I could say we are middle class here. We don't work for our food. We just enjoy our coffee in our terrace. I make myself busy taking care of the dogs. But the thing is, sometimes rules are bended, and I I just know that rules are rules and it cannot be bended. That's why it's finalized that there are rules. And sometimes it changes because you know this somebody and you know that somebody. So you can bend it, you can make it shortcut, things like that. And which is like not the usual way the in Germany. But one thing I like here is the respect for elderly people. And for those retiree that lives in America or any European countries, just try to ask yourself, are you ready and have enough savings because it's quite expensive if you be hospitalized, if you have kidney problems and things like that, that continuously having a doctor's visit, things like that. It is, I don't know, you should have enough pension to live by it because normally you retire at 65. So location wise, you should really consider location wise. Yeah, the area where you should live because you are not already very young. But if you are healthy, you have no maintenance, that would be okay. For traveling, it's also okay because there's a lot of beautiful beaches. You can sit down there. Coconut juice are very reasonable. Food are very reasonable in Boracay and Palawan, But if you have problems with walking, there would be people assisting you. They're very nice. You will be living like a king and a queen in my country, especially the exchange rate of dollars and euro. But you've got to be ready for the cleanliness. You don't compare because Philippines is different from Europe and Philippines is different from America. But if you decide to live in the Philippines, you should always consider the nearest hospital, modern hospital, the nearest you, because most of the people who are retiring in the States, they have different standards, okay? But you have to pay for the standards. So you've got to be ready. And also, lucky for people who have nephews, who have relatives, who would be taking care of them. And I observed that many who retires, instead of going for home for the aged, they just they just come here and they help their relatives go to school and they take care, or they hire nurses, which is very affordable if you're earning in dollars. So 24/7, something like that, because some old people would also prefer in their last few years to be near with their family. So there are pros and cons. You just have to weigh. Is it really for me, retire in the Philippines? But you have to have enough pensions and you have to consider the locations of where you live. And the problem here is like you cannot compare. If you live here in the Philippines, you can be assured that as seniors, people will respect you. As senior, you will be addressed really like a king and a queen. Unlike in Europe where I live, you have to line up. It doesn't matter, doesn't bother them if you're old or not. And you call them ate, kuya, or brother and sister, even you are not relative. And I think Filipino people, they have a good sense of humor, basically. Even if in their hardest moments in their life, they tend to say their stories with humor. And that's one thing why I love living in the Philippines. So for my next vlog, I would be sharing to you what are the difficulty and challenges that me as a retiree, basing on my personal experience, because it is really a big decision, especially health-wise. You really have to think 10 times more, because here, for a 65-year-old and not healthy, it would be very, very expensive. Like me, my insurance, I pay too much, but I never use it. I can only use it when I travel in Germany. So that's it, folks, for the next time, and some tips and tricks and how it is to be a retiree in my own country that I love the most. I'm very nationalistic, but there are things that I I adopted in Germany that some people sometimes cannot understand the way I talk, because I'm really brutally frank. Like, because in Germany, if you say it, like you are sounding like argument, after the incident is all done, you move.